All right, if you're diving into Module 1 for your PD Facilitator certification, you have landed in exactly the right spot. We are going to break down the absolute fundamentals of why writing instruction is just so essential for every single student. Ready? Let's get to it. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with the big why writing is so essential in the first place. Then we'll dig into what I call the instruction gap and see how that really impacts the student experience. And of course, we'll wrap up by looking at the solution, what strong instruction looks like, and how structure makes it all possible. This quote right here, this is everything. This is the idea you need to hold on to as a facilitator. Writing is not some peripheral skill, some add-on we do on Fridays. It's one of the main ways students actually learn, think, and show us what they know. It's thinking made visible. So let's unpack that. The big idea here is shifting the view from product to process. So often we just focus on that final paper, but the real magic happens in the process of writing. That's when students are forced to clarify their own thinking, connect the dots, basically to make their learning stick. Now look at this contrast. It's night and day, right? When writing is treated as less important, well, you get what you see on the left. It's chaotic. Instructions all over the place, feedback is rushed, and students just feel stressed out. But when you treat writing as equal to reading, the whole culture shifts. Time is protected, teachers actually get the development they need, and, this is huge, students learn that their ideas actually matter. As a facilitator, this is one of the first things you'll diagnose in a school. And that leads us right into our next section, the instruction gap, because that's exactly what happens. There's this massive disconnect between what we expect teachers to do and the support we actually give them.
Think about it. We have so many teachers who know deep down that writing is critical, but honestly, they feel underprepared to teach it in a really systematic way. This list here, think of it as your diagnostic checklist. When you walk into a school, these are the areas where teachers are crying out for support. How do I model? How do I break this giant thing called writing into smaller teachable pieces? How do I give feedback that actually helps instead of just grading?
And of course, that gap for teachers, it has a direct, and I mean direct, impact on the student experience. So let's flip the coin and see what this feels like from their perspective. For way too many students, a writing assignment feels like being told to guess what's in my Fed. It's so overwhelming. They don't know how to start, they have no idea how to organize their thoughts, and that dreaded question, how much detail do I need? This isn't because they have nothing to say. It's because the whole process feels invisible and, frankly, impossible, without clear, consistent steps. So that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? How do we fix this? How do we build a bridge over this gap for both teachers and students? This question, this is the heart of your work as a PD facilitator. The solution begins by getting really clear on the non-negotiables. What are the absolute essential elements of strong writing instruction? Let's build that bridge. Okay, look at this list. These are the pillars of an effective writing classroom. Think about it. Every single one of these directly answers the student struggles we just saw. Explicit instruction, so they know how to start. Models of strong writing, so they know what good looks like. Specific feedback, so they know how to improve. This is how we transform writing from that frustrating guessing game into a skill that can actually be learned and mastered. But having a list of great ingredients is one thing. How do you make sure the meal gets made consistently in every single classroom? That's where structure comes in. Structure is the framework that makes all this powerful instruction visible, teachable, and accessible for everyone. And this is so important. A lot of people hear structure and they think boring or restrictive, but it's the opposite. Structure doesn't remove the thinking, it supports the thinking. It gets rid of the confusion so students can focus on their ideas. It gives everyone, teachers and students, a clear, shared roadmap for what to do and where they're going. It just makes everything easier. And ultimately, this is what it's all about. This is the real goal. Strong writing instruction builds confidence. But listen, confidence isn't built by just telling a kid, good job. True, lasting confidence is built through visible teaching and supported success. It's when a student knows what to do, tries it, and sees that it works. That's when they start to see themselves not as someone who has to write, but as a writer.
So as you work through Module 1 and prepare for your assignments, I want you to hold this question close. Look at your own school, your own context. What's the most pressing need you see when it comes to writing? And how can a structured approach start to build that bridge? Your job as a facilitator isn't just to present information. It's to help educators see their own problems clearly and then show them a clear path forward. That's real leadership.